you do, man. It's so cool. Um the way you do it by bringing in different people and always keeping it fresh, which I guess has its challenges on one side, maybe, and
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
Challenges never end, but also the fun and the inspiration never ends. So it's kind of the full circle of all the emotions.
I hear you with that. All right, so I guess the first night of San Francisco, you've been doing after shows of PHiSH for everybody watching for a while now, and you did one recently on the spring tour. I guess you had Reed with you. Who else was on that gig?
Yeah, it was Dennis from the Honey Drips on drums, Angeline Saris was playing bass, and Danny Eisenberg. So yeah,
Okay.
really fun lineup. And then we had Emerson Rose from LA came up and sang with us. And man, it was packed in there to the gills. It must have been 100 degrees. Everyone was just a sweaty mess, and we were having so much fun.
Right, right. I hear you. So when did let me ask you this? When did you land on doing the Fish after shows? Because it's a great way for a band to get their name out of there. And some of the names you bring into these things just are an automatic go for a lot of people.
Yeah, it just seemed kind of a natural fit. So I've been doing this kind of different lineup every weekend since basically 2012 is kind of when I started this project. Um, and it wasn't intentional. It was just really a side project for me. I had another band at the time. And so it was just doing a thing under my name. No one likes a band under your name, but since it was a side project, it was all right, let's just have fun and we'll get the best musicians in town. And then it started to travel. We started in Northwest Indiana, moved into Chicago, and then just started moving around the country. And it was cool because I could just travel to a different location and then link up with different players in whatever city I was in. So it kind of had this natural feel of anything goes. We're just in the moment. Each night is unique. And I think it just really lends itself well to these after parties because you have a lot of energy. You have a lot of people that are fired up. They want something a little more maybe creative, not just your run of the mill thing. And so the two worlds kind of just fit perfectly. We did a couple of really fun Dead and Company after parties in Chicago at this venue called HVAC. We had Tony Hall and Ivan Neville, Alan Evans, and George Porter. And I think that's like, yeah, this idea is really going to take off. And so I was very lucky to actually do a record called the Dead Funk Summit. And that's kind of where these shows came from. So I did the album. It's all original music with George Porter and Melvin Seals. And then after the pandemic, I just wanted to start inviting all my friends because we hadn't played in forever. And so I was like, how can I make these shows something bigger? So not just calling it the Joe Marcinek Band, I just took this idea of the Dead Funk Summit. So it's not just Grateful Dead. There's a heavy New Orleans funk influence is one side. The other side is obviously the world of the Grateful Dead, and then a bunch of my originals. I've got 9 albums
Right.
out now, so we got a lot of original music too. So it's kind of all those 3 different worlds coming together, and every guest that comes and plays will bring a different cover song or a different song of theirs. So it's like every time you have new
Right.
ideas. So man, I could talk about this forever.
Right. Well, and when you have a George Porter and a Terrence Houston and a Tony Hall with you, of course New Orleans is just going to steep out of whatever they're doing.
Oh yeah, it's impossible not to be funky.
All right. So this
And,
summer, what I got you on for was this summer you're going to do some more of these after shows for PHiSH. What do you have on tap, and who's going to be joining you for them?
so we got 2 huge ones coming up. We just announced June 27th in Austin, Texas at Antone's. We'll be doing a Dead Funk Summit with Eric Krasno on guitar and vocals, which he's one of my main influences. I'm beyond excited that I actually get to play with him now. It's funny, he's borrowed my guitar I think 4 times now on different shows I've been at where he broke a string or didn't have a guitar and it was, here, take mine. So this is really exciting to finally get to collaborate with them. And then for that one, it'll be Reed Mathis on bass and Cliff Porter out of Reno on drums. So that'll be in Austin, Texas, Friday, June 27th at Antone's.
Well,
And
let
then
me get this
the
right.
next,
So we're,
oh,
we're going
sorry.
2 guitars. We're going 2 guitars, bass, and drums for this one.
So that's where it starts, and they always start very simple, but friends end up coming out. They've got a Hammond B3 on stage. I play
Right.
keyboards as well. Reed's been playing a lot of guitar lately,
Uh-huh.
and Krasno plays bass. So I'm sure at some point we're all going to be switching off, playing different
You could do
instruments. Yeah,
do a
we can go
rotation
round
jam.
robin.
Yeah, yeah, do the
Yeah, the
rotation
road.
jam like PHiSH did. I talked to Reed a
Exactly.
couple weeks ago. I actually talked to Reed a couple weeks ago, and he was telling me how the bass is he plays the bass like a guitar in his mind, and I was like, "Yeah, you do. I've never heard anybody play bass like you ever."
No. And it's very much in that Phil Lesh tradition of trying to play more melodically and not just playing the traditional role of the bass. He's exploring and searching for new sounds, and the bass just happens to be his instrument.
Yep, there you go. And then I guess also the 18th, 19th, you're doing one in Chicago, right?
Yeah, so then in July, we've got two huge after shows planned at this place called the Epiphany Center for the Arts. It's less than 8-minute walk from the United Center, so super close. And for this one, somehow I managed to arrange this band with Melvin Seals on organ, Aron Magner on keyboards from the Disco Biscuits, Marc Brownstein on bass from the Disco Biscuits, and Jeff Sipe, who's one of my favorite drummers of all time. So this lineup is just beyond ridiculous. I can't believe we get to do this for 2 nights. And then I'm going to have a slew of special guests coming through to sing, some horn players, some other drummers. And yeah, I don't even know what's going to happen, but it's going to be incredible. And that'll be July 18th and 19th in Chicago.
All right, $25 advance, 30-day of the show, and you can get the VIP table, huh?
That's right. Tickets are on sale now. We always suggest to get your tickets in advance. I know everyone worries about having to pay a couple extra dollars in fees, but for the artists, this really helps us because promoters lately, especially with the economy, they get cold feet. So if there's not a lot of pre-sale tickets, sometimes they end up canceling the show on you. So if you see
Right.
shows getting canceled, it's usually because people aren't buying tickets in advance, and that really helps us not have to worry so much. So we really appreciate the support if you can get your tickets in advance.
Right. And the margins are so thin for you guys. I saw Mike Dillon a couple years back posted that they canceled one show and now the tour was going to break even instead of them actually making a little money off of it because of one show out of 10 or
Yeah,
11. I mean, mind-boggling.
well, yeah, you got to string them together.
Right.
And you know that this we're not being forced to play music. It's called play music. It's a gift. We're truly lucky to be able to do this, but it does not mean it's not without its challenges.
Yep. All right. Before I let you go, I know you're in your car and you got a million things going on. April 29th, a couple weeks back, the Groove Session came out, album you did with Jesus Molina and Ronnie and Manny Sanchez from Groove Session, the band Groove Session,
That's
which
right.
inspired the title, I guess. You want to throw out a little pitch for that? Let us know where we can get it and what was going on with that.
Yeah, I was literally just at the post office shipping out some vinyls. So I'm mom and pop organization. I do everything myself. So if you want a vinyl, shoot an email to Joe Marcinek Band at Gmail, and I'll get your address and send it to you with a bunch of stickers and some other free stuff. But yeah, I've been working with Groove Session for over 10 years now. They're some of my favorite human beings in the world. Every time we get together, we just laugh and have such a good time. So we've been trying to figure out a way to record. And so I came down to LA in, I guess this is the fall of 2022 at a good buddy Greg Spiro's studio. At that time, it was called the Tiny Room in Inglewood. He's since moved to Malibu, I believe. But we got together, and then I met Jesus just randomly through my good buddy Shua in Vegas. And Jesus has so much technique. He's one of the best keyboardist piano players you'll ever hear in your life. Just like look up any video, Jesus Molina on YouTube, and you're just going to be blown away. So I wrote some really fun tunes with him in mind that I knew we were going to get to work together. And then with Manny and Ronnie just holding down the groove, it's like, just let's set him up to go. So on my album last year, which was One River Street, it was like every song had a guitar solo. It was really guitar heavy. So for this album, I took way back. I think I just played the melodies. There might be one guitar solo on the whole record. So this one's way more piano based, way more groove based. and we just had such a blast. So then afterwards, Greg ended up sitting in on a couple tunes on piano, and then the great Howard Levy played harmonica on 2 tracks, and this cat out of Nashville, Tracy Silverman, played violin. So yeah, just it came together so
Wow.
well. It's my favorite album. Just such a joy. And if anyone likes, kind of funkier jazz music, I suggest checking it out. It's available on all streaming platforms, YouTube. If you send me an email, I'll send you a copy. I'll send you the
Do you
download.
do you do Bandcamp?
I do. I haven't pushed Bandcamp as hard. There's been some stuff that's come out recently that I not enjoy hearing, so I don't know. I'm thinking about other ways of doing it. I started
Right.
a Patreon during the pandemic, and that's kind of been my favorite way because I can just connect directly with my fans. I've been posting once a week since April of 2020, so we've got over 4 years worth of unreleased exclusive content, and that's kind of my favorite way to connect with everyone.
Right.
And so then the last part was I named the album The Groove Session in honor of those guys because their band is Groove Session. So this was, my way to honor my good friends.
It's crazy that it has been 5 years since since COVID started.
Wow.
Hey, thank you, Joe. I think this is the third. I know it's the third, maybe the fourth time that we've actually gotten to spoke most on all that jam over there. Hold on a second while I end this, and I'll make sure to get some links down in the
And thank you so
description
much.
when the show comes out. So hold on a sec so I can make sure that everything uploaded.